So I've got a 15-minute session for you, focusing on the pelvis, looking at pelvis mobility and stability. So we're going to start in standing with a squat. And for this you're going to have your legs under the shoulders rather than under the hip bones. Just really spread out through your feet and making sure that you can feel the little toe through to the big toe and then back into the centre of your heel. It's really important that we ground through our feet to get the length up through the spine, and we always start with the knees a little bit soft. Going to take a nice wide breath into the ribs. As you exhale, the tummy draws back and then you sink back into your hips. You're going to feel like you're sticking the bottom out a little, spreading the sit bones so we maintain a neutral spine. The belly's drawing back, the ribs are drawing back, and then we're going to press down into the feet, maintain our neutral, and come back up to standing. And we're going to do 4 more like this. So inhaling wide, exhaling, the tummy draws back, we send the arms forwards, dropping our shoulder blades and widening the sitting bones. Press down into the feet to come up to standing. And exhaling back, really sinking and folding at the hip, keeping the toes pointing forwards, pressing down with the feet, the quads are working, the core's working. 2 more like this, sinking down. You want to feel the width across the back of the pelvis here, and standing up, and 1 more. Now we're going to maintain this position. We're going to soften through the left elbow and rotate to the left. Come back to the centre, soften through the right elbow and rotate. And back to centre. And left, keep the core working. And centre. And right. And centre. Press down through the feet to come up to standing. And we're going to repeat that with rotation, breathing in. Breathing out, sink back into the hips. You want the arms soft, not rigid, but then we're going to soften that elbow and rotate. Keep the belly button drawn in. Rotate to the right, through the ribs. And 1 more each way. And back, and around. Back to the centre, press the feet down, come up to standing and just walk your feet in so that they're underneath those hip bones. We're going to roll down through the spine. So we're just letting those knees bend a little bit. Arms hang down. Take a wide breath. And exhaling, nod the forehead. Draw that belly back. And roll down through your spine. Vertebra by vertebra. All the way to the floor. Now, I want you to breathe wide into the back of your ribs. And as you exhale, lift the navel, rolling up again. Feeling the feet sink deeper and deeper into the floor. And breathing in, breathing out. Let that forehead roll first. The tummy's drawing back. And roll down towards your toes. This time, when we get to the bottom, we're going to sway from side to side, over the right leg, over the left leg, and just getting a little bit of rotation through the spine as we hang. Then we come back to the centre, and again we're breathing into the back of the ribs, the back of the lungs, exhaling to lift, feeling the weight, drop into the feet and rolling through the spine. 1 more roll down, breathing in, breathing out, tummy draws back, let that forehead roll all the way down. And this time when we get to the bottom, we're going to straighten and bend each leg. You might not have your fingertips on the floor like me, that's fine, they might be behind the calf, they might be behind the thigh, but we want to get into the back of the knee, straightening and bending each knee. 1 more each way. in. Exhale and lift up through those abdominals. Stacking your vertebrae one by one, dropping your shoulders, and the head comes up last. You might want something nearby to hold on to for the next one, so we're going to come onto one leg. We're going to start coming onto the left foot, left leg, and we're going to bring the right knee up. Take around the knee and draw it in. And bring it down. We're going to repeat that twice more, so we're bringing the knee up, tummy in, knee comes in, and down, and one more. Lift that knee up and draw it down. Now, still with the right leg, I'll turn to the side. I'm going to take, actually I'll turn this way. I'm going to take the leg behind me and forwards. I'm keeping my hands on my hip bones so that I don't tilt forward with my body. The movement is coming from the back of my leg. I'm taking the leg back and forwards. And we'll repeat all of that on the other leg. So balancing on the right foot, we're going to bring the left knee up and draw it in, tummy in, bring it down, lifting up and down. This is my wobbly ankle. So we're bringing it up, squeeze it up and down. We're going to take that left leg behind us. So we really need our core here as we squeeze into the hamstrings and forwards. And take the leg back and forwards. Keep that tummy drawing in and forwards. Lovely. So you're going to come down onto the floor or onto your mat. And looking at pelvic mobility here, we come into our 4-point kneeling position with our wrists directly under the armpit, fingers nicely spread, and the index finger pointing forwards. Our knees are directly under the hip bones, and we start with the pelvis in a neutral position, so our sacrum here is parallel to the ceiling. Now we're going to draw circles with the pelvis, and we're going to imagine we've got a paintbrush attached to the end of the coccyx, and we're going to draw circles on the wall behind with that paintbrush. And I want you to take this slowly and really try to get around all of the circle as you take the pelvis around, drawing a big circle with the pelvis. Take your time, don't cut corners, really get that pelvis moving around, and then we're going to change direction. And you're using your tummy as you're getting the tail to tuck under there. You're using the abdominals to really flex the spine, get the hips swinging out to the side. Are you drawing a semicircle or is it a full circle? Really reaching the pelvis around once more. And around. So from here, going back to stability of the pelvis. So for this, we want to think about drawing up with those lower abdominal muscles and keeping the sacrum parallel to the ceiling. So we're going to breathe wide into the ribs. And as we breathe out and engage up through the tummy muscles just lightly, we're going to slide the right leg away, float the left arm forwards, bring the right leg up just to the height of the hip. So we're not arching in the lumbar. And keeping that steady position, drawing the left shoulder blade down towards the right buttock, and then coming down. And breathing wide into the ribs. Exhaling to lift up gently through the navel, sliding the left leg, floating the right arm, bringing the left leg up to hip height, and keeping stable in that position with the abdominals lightly drawing up and coming down. 2 more to each side. So we always start with our wide breath into the ribs. We exhale to engage. So we're stabilizing just before we move. And then coming down. And what we're doing is training our nervous system to do that automatically one more each way. Right leg, left arm. Remembering not to be rigid through the limbs. Keep a sense of fluidity as you move. Remember, we're mostly water. You're just moving the water around the body and then coming down. Good. So from here, I want you to just walk your hands back. Now from your core, lengthen up to a high kneeling position. And we're going to bring the left foot forwards and level up the pelvis. So it may well have tilted. Let's level it up. Scoot those left toes forwards. And then lunge with your left knee towards your second toe. Bring your hands inside your knee so that you're in a lunge. And we're going back into our pelvic circles, and this time we're going to think of moving from the pubic bone and drawing circles now with the pubic bone on the mat. Lunging a little bit deeper with each rotation, as if the pelvis is dropping through the legs towards your mat. And again, you're thinking about those full circles. We're going to reverse the circle. Go back the other way. Remember to keep a little bit of work in the tummy so that you're not hanging out in your lower back. Circling that pelvis around. One more. Walk the hands back a little. Now again, from your core, I want you to lengthen up. Bring the right arm up. And then just think of those collarbones lifting a little bit. Just lifting up through the collarbones to lengthen through the front right side. Bring the right arm down. And bring that left leg back. So, other leg. We bring the right leg forwards. Level up the hips. Scoot the right toes forwards on the mat. And then kneecap towards your second toe. Hands come inside the leg. And we're circling the pelvis. Nice big circles, dropping the pubic bone towards the mat with each rotation. Lots of strong muscles around the pelvis, lots of tissue. We want it to be strong, but we also want the mobility in this area. So we're going to reverse and go back the other way, circling. Now I'm finding this way harder than the other, and I know that's because my pelvis likes to go in one direction. So you may well find you have an imbalance. There's lots we can do in Pilates to correct that imbalance in the pelvis once we know what its preference is. We're going to walk the hands back. From our centre, we're going to lift up. And we're going to bring that left arm up. And we're going to let the collarbones just lift and tilt back a little bit. We're keeping the tummy in and feeling that length from the left knee to the left fingertips. And then come down. Great. So from here, onto our backs. And we're going into a bridge first of all. So we want the feet under the knees or just in front of the knees. Hip bones here, left and right. You want to feel that they're level with each other, opposite each other. Arms are going to be down on the floor. And we're going to start with a breath in, breath out, press down with the feet, lift the hips up. Press down with the hands and the feet and feel that you're resting your weight into your shoulder blades, top of the shoulder blades. And then bring your pelvis down. And exhale, press up. And what we're going to do this time is tilt the right hip bone down and the left hip bone up. We're tilting the pelvis to the right and then level it up. Tilt the left hip bone down and the right hip bone up and come level. And repeat. Tilt to the right, coming up. Tilt to the left, coming up. Now drop pop your pelvis down through the legs so that it comes down in one piece. We're not rolling down, we're placing it down. We're going to repeat that. So breathing in, breathing out. Gently press into the feet and the hips lift up. And we tilt to the right and level. And tilt to the left and level. One more each way. And tilt to the left. Keep a little bit of work through your tummy to support your back. Come level and place the pelvis back on the floor. Now we're going to roll the pelvis back just into a pelvic tilt. We're going to breathe wide into our ribs. And on the exhale, deflate the tummy and just let the tailbone curl under and feel the weight drop into your lower back. And then roll back to neutral. So breathing wide, exhaling and roll the pelvis back. Tummy goes down, back goes down. Roll back to neutral. And one more. And neutral. This time, we're going to take it up into a spine curl. We're going to breathe in, breathe out, curl the pelvis under again, and then press a little bit more through the feet as you start to lift up with each vertebra. Again, coming to that place, resting on the shoulder blades. Now keep all 10 toes pressing into the floor. Inhale the arms up and back. Reach your knees over your ankles. Now exhale down with your spine, reaching your tail towards your heels. Back to neutral. Inhale down with the arms. So we're going to do that twice more. Exhale up with the spine. Try and feel each vertebra lifting away from your mat. Inhale, up and back with the arms. Keep the feet pressing down. Don't roll out or in. Exhale down with your spine. Are your big toes still on the mat? Inhale down with the arms. We're going to do that once more. Exhaling, curly spines. Keep that scoop in the belly. Inhaling, up and back with the arms. Exhaling, down with the spine. Inhaling, down with the arms. And coming back to pelvic stability, we're going to float one knee up, keeping the pelvis still. Exhaling, tummy scoops down as we float the other knee up, keeping the pelvis still. If you find this position pulls your lower back, just bring the knees in a bit closer towards you. Otherwise, have the knees over your hip bones and your arms into Cossack for bird feet. So we softly point the toes, take a wide breath, exhale, scoop the belly, tap the floor, come straight back up, and that's all on the exhale. Inhale, the leg. Exhale, tap, inhaling up, exhale, tap. Tummy keeps scooping in so that our lower back doesn't move. If your back is moving and wants to go with your leg, you bring those knees in and you make the movement smaller with a little tap. The important thing is that the tummy is working rather than the back. Now we're going to interlock the hands behind the head and lift the head and chest up towards the legs, go back into our tap. With the upper abdominals working, as well as the lower abdominals. And tap. And one more each way. Nice dainty little taps on the floor. Just bring the knees in for a moment. We're going into an oblique tap now, so we bring the knees back up. Head starts on the floor, we inhale. Exhale, now as you tap one foot, the opposite leg. And the leg comes up, the head comes down. Exhale, other side. And exhale. And exhale. Think of taking the armpit towards the opposite leg, keeping the elbows wide. One more each side. Well done. Just bring those knees in and roll your head from side to side. Bring the feet down one at a time. Let your pelvis rest in neutral. Bring your hands onto your belly, over your belly button. You may have felt that working, so we're going to breathe into it to release. We're going to breathe into our fingers, let the belly rise. And breathe out, let it relax. 2 more, breathe in. And out. And breathing in. And out. Now just bringing the palm of the hand over your 2 hip bones, left and right. And just to experience here a little bit of movement that the pelvis can do. We're not moving our legs here. It's a small movement in the pelvis. You can feel those bony bits under the palm of the hand. We're going to gently send the right hip bone up into the hand and the left hip bone is going to dip down. And then level those hip bones up. So we're not doing this by moving the legs, it's little movements of the pelvis. The left hip bone is going to push up into my hand and the right hip bone then dips down, like the wings of an aeroplane dipping. As one goes up, the other has to go down and then we level up. So do that a few times on each side. Think of gently pushing one hip bone up into your hand. And you'll feel the other one drop away. And changing sides. And it's really nice to do this and notice if one side is easier than the other. So I know my pelvis likes to turn one way, which makes the glutes on one side tighter. And it makes that side tighter for me to do. So I'm going to repeat a few more on the stuck side, on my tighter side. You can keep going with either direction if you want to, or if you noticed you had a tighter side, just do a few extra on that side, pushing that hip bone up into your hand, and then just coming back to a nice level, neutral pelvis. We're just going to slide our hands up now to our lower ribs for some lateral breathing. We're going to breathe into the hands, let the ribs open sideways, and breathe out, relax. Let those ribs close. So breathing wide into the ribs, and out. 2 more. And 1 more. Let the arms come down by your sides, just rest there for a moment, feeling the weight of the body on the mat, letting your muscles relax around the bones, letting your face be soft. And you are welcome to stay there for as long as you want. It's a great position for rest.